Hey, good afternoon, Poet Nutrition team. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. If you recall, yesterday we talked about communication and how communication is an essential element in creating team synergy, where the whole can be greater than the sum of its parts. And more specifically, we talked about effective communication. The communication needs to be effective to create great synergy. I think one of the biggest mistakes we make as human beings, and it's one of the greatest sources of our problems, whether it's at work or at home, is when we confuse the act of communicating with really the result of communicating effectively. Where we think, just because I said that, or I sent that email, or I sent that text off, that I communicated effectively. But did we? So let's kind of start with, what's the definition of effective communication? And it's really pretty simple. It's when the receiver understands what we're trying to communicate in the way we want them to understand it. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen. Think about TV advertisers for a second. Millions and millions, billions are spent on TV advertising each and every year. And each advertisement, they really have the same opportunity. They have 30 seconds to get a message across, to communicate. That's all they're doing, is communicating. And during that 30 seconds, some advertisements can grab our attention, make us think about something, maybe even make us feel an emotion. And if they're really effective in their communication, they'll get us to part with our hard-earned money and buy something. And yet, a lot of ads, they have the same opportunity. All they are is noise in our lives. And I think that's a great metaphor for us to think about in our own communication. Is our communication just noise in someone else's life? Or are we communicating effectively, where we can get somebody to understand what we're trying to say in the way we want them to understand it? And maybe even if we're effective enough, they take the action that we're hoping that they take. So something to think about. I've asked all of you to get back to me with your thoughts on communication at Poet Nutrition. I've heard from a number of you already. Fortunately, what I'm hearing so far is you think we're doing a pretty good job at communicating at Poet Nutrition. But one thing I'm sure of is we can do better. There's room for improvement. So I want to hear from you. What can we do to be better communicators at Poet Nutrition, amongst ourselves, within our team, throughout our other partners at Poet, and then of course our customers and our other partners that we deal with in the commercial world. So how can we be better at communicating? How can we be more effective? So love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Appreciate it. Have a great day. We'll be in touch. Bye now.